Where does Aries like to be touched? You look really good in those pants. The Aries can be target of hate is probably just because... Hey, today I thought it would be a fun idea if we could do a Google search kind of Q&A sort of thing. I haven't seen anybody do this on YouTube yet, so I just came up with the idea the other day, and I don't know, I thought it could be something fun to explore. So what I will be doing is searching on Google the most search questions for each sign. Like, for example, where does Aries ... or why is Aries ... You'll see what I mean in a few minutes, but that's essentially what I'll be doing. It's just interesting what people are searching about the signs, so I thought I would try to answer those questions as best as I can, see what kind of things people are searching, what kind of craziness people are wondering about. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to be doing a whole entire video for each sign, so stay tuned for all the signs. I'm going to be going through all the different signs and doing different Google searches for all the different signs, so just stay tuned for that. And today I'm going to be starting with Aries. Oh, and first and foremost, if you're new here, my name is Melissa, your local Capricorn moon, and I like to make videos especially geared towards beginners and people who are just starting their astrology journey. So if that sounds like you, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I hit notifications, turn on notifications so that you are informed whenever it is that I post. I post twice a week, and I hope to see you around for that for my next video. But today we'll be doing Google searches for each of the signs. So starting with Aries, I'm going to try to type in where does Aries like to be touched? Where does Aries come from? Where does Aries fall in my chart? Where does Aries man like to be touched? So an Aries, if you're wondering, if you're curious where an Aries probably likes to be touched, is probably gonna have to be somewhere here, somewhere in the upper region. I say that because, as you guys probably may or may not know, Aries does rule over the head and just the face area, so oftentimes that can be a very sensitive area for an Aries. Touching their forehead or just playing with their hair, touching their face somehow. Perhaps their nose could be like a really sensitive area too in particular. Yeah, that's kind of a weird one, sort of random. And then where does Aries come from? Where does Aries come from? What are they even trying to ask? I have no idea what the hell they're trying to ask, but it's a sign, it's a zodiac sign. It comes from the zodiac. Where does Aries fall in my chart? Well, you're gonna have to know the symbol of Aries, which if you look at any birth chart, the zodiac sign symbols will be all around the outer circle of the chart. And so just find the symbol of Aries, which is, I'm going to put it on the screen right now so that you can all recognize what the Aries symbol looks like, and that way you can find out where it is in your chart. And you can just find out, like, look for that symbol, and then whatever house cusp, whatever line is touching that Aries portion of the chart is going to be where Aries falls in your chart, in case you were wondering about that as well. The next thing I'm going to search is why is Aries? Okay, I feel like this one will be very in-depth. This one will be, there's going to be a lot of questions for why is Aries? Why is Aries so hot? I mean, have you seen us? No, just kidding. I feel like this could have been a question that is typed in for all the signs, not just Aries, so I don't want to just answer as if we were the only ones that got asked this question. But I guess a few things that makes an Aries attractive is just really subjective, but I think, in my opinion, their independence, their just drive, their determination, their passion, different things, I think, in my opinion at least. Why is Aries so hot? And then, why is Aries a ram? Well, if you consider what the typical behavior of a ram in nature is, well, it's very fierce, it's very headstrong. They like to butt their heads on, like, against different things, get past obstacles to try to win a fight, to try to, I don't know, ward off attackers maybe. And so that's very similar to like what an Aries as a zodiac sign actually does, which is they fight to the death. They never stop fighting for whatever it is that they want. And so that's probably one of the reasons why Aries is represented by a ram. Why is Aries a fire sign? Well, fire signs are known to just be very highly energetic, highly spirited, and inspirational. They tend to be leaders, and they're known to be very passionate about different things in life. And so Aries definitely fits that. Aries, along with Leo and Sagittarius, they also have that pioneering spirit about them that is just one of the very outstanding trademarks of a fire sign. So that's probably why they are a fire sign. Why is Aries so hated? Is that true? I hope that's not true. But I think probably Aries can be a target of hate is probably just because people have a problem with them being outspoken, them being very brave and maybe reckless to a fault, or maybe because they have a tendency to just kind of like push after what it is that they want, and they don't stop until they get it. And so maybe people have a problem with that. Maybe people have a problem with them being like really just determined, and maybe it can even come off as angry, who knows. But why is Aries so powerful? So I like to see all the different signs as like having their own very special type of power and their own special way of using that power, and just different signs will kind of possess their own powers like in their own special way, right? And so with Aries, I think that they get their power from just deep within. They're very just self-motivated. The sign is like just really self-motivated, really self-driven. Just a lot of their motivation and power really just comes from their own being, just from believing in themselves, just from their own like core self. And they don't really need other people to tell them that they can do things or that they have the power to do things. So it's just comes from their strong will and their passion. So that's the reason why I think Aries is powerful, or can be seen as powerful, because of that passion and that just self-driven nature. Why is Aries the best sign? I like how Aries is the best sign but also so hated. I think that there's something to be said about that, but no, I'm just kidding. But why is Aries the best sign? For all the reasons that I listed, obviously, I feel like an Aries may have typed that in Google, honestly, like, and genuinely searching for an answer. Like, why are we the best, obviously? So the next thing that I'm going to search is why do Aries like to fight? Aries likes to fight because they are literally the warriors of the zodiac. Hello. They like a challenge. They enjoy opposition and conflict, and just they don't like when people necessarily agree with them 100% of the time. That gets really boring for them, and so they might have a tendency to just like stir things up just for the sake of having drama, just for the sake of excitement, because like conflict and fighting and drama is, that's not something that they're afraid of at all. Why do Aries ignore you? And Aries will probably be ignoring you if you are literally just on their last nerve, bothering them about something. Like if it's something that they just do not want to do, but you keep bothering them about it, keep asking them about it. Although I kind of don't really see a typical Aries as the type to just ignore, like the type to just like be very passive in their protest of something. If they do not like something, you will definitely hear about it. They will definitely be like loud and proud about it. They will not be hesitant about, getting their point across. So I don't really see Aries that much as just being the type to ignore other people. Why do Aries end up alone? That's a really good question, actually. But Aries might end up alone just because They do not necessarily feel the need to partner up with people. Aries is probably like the sign that is most likely to be a bachelor or a bachelorette. Like, just because they love their independence so much, they're so good at being alone. They're so they don't rely on the opinions of other people. They don't rely on like having a partner to like go through life with. They don't always feel the need to consider the other person's perspective, and so an Aries can just end up being alone. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, or that like they lost anything just because they ended up alone, you know. Like, that can also mean that they have really high standards, that they're not just gonna settle for anyone, not gonna let anyone take away their independence or alone time. It's probably one of the reasons why Aries could end up alone. Why do Aries talk so much? Aries have a lot to say. Aries always has an opinion. They're not going to be silent about it or like be quiet just because it makes other people uncomfortable. So they're just gonna talk. They're just gonna be very opinionated, be very outspoken, open about their thoughts. You know, you don't ever have to guess where an Aries stands on certain topics, so it's very refreshing. I think the point where it can seem like it's just too much is probably when they're really heated up about something. Probably that when they're really passionate about something, that's when you're really going to hear them talk a lot. Why do Aries like to argue? That's really similar to why they like to fight, actually. Just because they're not going to back down for anybody. They like the conflict. They like when people stand up to them, when people disagree with them, because it really like stokes their fire and really increases their passion. So, and Aries really likes that feeling of just being passionate about things. And if you live your life without any passion, whether that be passion to do something or like passion for a certain subject or for fighting for something in particular, you know, an Aries will just be bored to death of life. That is not a life worth living for an Aries. The last one is how does Aries act? How does Aries act? Aries acts very boldly, very fearlessly. They act impulsively and spontaneously. They just do things by their heart. They just do things on the fly, to be honest. They don't always necessarily think things through or consider the consequences of their actions. So there is that sort of like childlike quality about them. How does Aries look like? It's a really good question. What do Aries look like? How does an Aries man show love? An Aries man will show that he loves you by really pursuing you, by really expressing his passion about you. Again, like I mentioned, like there's no second guessing with Aries, because if they like you, they will show it, even like in really subtle ways. Like the quieter types of Aries, it's hard to deny. It's hard for an Aries to really like deny their feelings about something, because they just feel things so purely and so passionately and vigorously that like it's hard to not let it show. And to Aries is just not the type of sign to be dishonest about that, or like to deny or twist things or make one thing mean something else. You know, Aries is just very direct and straightforward about their feelings. And so Aries man will show his love by really trying to know you, trying to get to know you, trying to like really be part of your life, because he sees that as like a prize. Having a spot in your life, a spot right by your side, is a prize for him. So he's gonna try to win that. He's going to try to woo you and like show that he is number one, that he is the best, and that you should just give him a chance because he feels like he's the best. But then he also sees you as the best and something worth fighting for. So that's how you would know that an Aries might love you, is if they try to fight for you. How does Aries die? Do I even want to know that? How does Aries flirt? So an Aries might flirt by just being very direct. They're not the type to play games or like be shy or coy about their feelings again, like I mentioned, but perhaps they might just directly tell you that they like you. You know, they're probably gonna say something like really bold and brave, either outright saying that they like you or saying something like, oh, I had a dream about you, or you look really good in those pants. Something like that. Something just very bold and direct like that. I could also see an Aries like kind of setting up a cat and mouse sort of situation. They are like trying to chase you, they're trying to win you over, or they might like even challenge you in some way, because Aries likes to challenge. Like when they're in love, they like to feel like they earned you. If they like you and they want to flirt with you, they might try to challenge you at something and try to show that they are number one at something and show that they're the best at it and like really show off their skills. So challenge you is one way that they might flirt. How does Aries act when hurt? An Aries might act like they don't care. So what I said earlier stands true about them not really being able to deny their true feelings, and I think that when an Aries is hurt, they are going to probably like show it like honestly and truly and very raw at first. Like their pain is going to be very raw and open to others at first, but then like they also have it seems to appear that they are over it very quickly, but whether that's actually true or not, deep down inside is different. They're going to show that they are hurt at first, right? And be very honest about their emotions and their feelings, but then they can easily like really bounce back from that like really quickly. So that's probably what you're going to see when an Aries gets hurt. They're just gonna act like they have moved on and just moved on to the next interesting or exciting thing in life. So I thought those questions were really interesting. I hope you guys found it interesting too. I hope you found it entertaining to kind of like go through and see what people like to search, or what are like the most searched questions about each of the signs or about Aries in this video. Again, I'll be going through all the signs and like looking up all the different like Google most asked questions about each sign. So I hope you stick around for that, and if you found this video entertaining or liked it in some way or just enjoyed spending time with me today, hit the thumbs up button. And if you have ever looked up any of these questions in Google yourself, please also give this video a like. What did you find out? Like what kind of answers did you figure out from your research? I'd love to know. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're new, again, my name is Melissa, your local Capricorn moon. Please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll see you again soon for the next video very soon. Thanks for watching.